Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2022 Above and Beyond DPD and DFD awardees, accompanied by the Metro Police and Fire Pipe and Drums. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome Avis R. Taylor, DPD First Assistant Chief Chaplain, and Martin Rucker, retired DFD, for the singing of the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing as we have a moment of silence for the fallen officers and firefighters who have sacrificed their lives for this community. And now, Father, we thank you for this special occasion to celebrate excellence for those that give their lives for the service of many. We ask that you cover families and that you would cover those that walk alongside, those that serve day in and day out. We ask, God, that if there's someone dressed up tonight with a smile on their face but needs you, we ask, God, that you meet them right where they need it. And so, Father, we ask that you would bless the food that we've already eaten and that you would bless it and let it be nourishing to our bodies. And let everyone say, amen.
Amen. Right, please. Forward out a half step. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to welcome our host for the evening. She is the senior producer and host of CBS Detroit's Michigan Matters and Detroit Free Press columnist. Please welcome Carol Kane.
Good evening. How are you guys doing? I am so glad to be here. I'm Carol Kane, and I'm so honored to be here with all you heroes here. This is a very special anniversary of the Above and Beyond award ceremony, and I can't say how happy I'm to be here. It's just incredible. For the past 10 years, the Detroit Public Safety Foundation has hosted this event to honor Detroit's very best, bravest, and among the first responders. And as mentioned, I'm Carol Kane, senior producer, host of Michigan Matters, which runs 8 a.m. on Sundays on CBS Detroit. I'm a columnist at Detroit Free Press. I am so honored to be here tonight, particularly in this week, which for those of you, I'm looking around, I see a few politicians amongst the crowd here. We had a big election, and so I've been working on that 24/7. And when I was asked to MC this, as uplifting as this is on the heels of what happened in the election, I said, yes, I'm in. It's my honor again to be here. I'm from Detroit, grew up on the east side. How many folks? East side Detroit? Show of hands. All right. We won't hold it against you west siders. We won't hold it against you. I'm also a journalist who has told stories about Detroit. That's been my forte, and I've always been so impressed by the courage that the first responders show. I have police officers and firemen in my own family, and I know just how hard the job is. It takes a certain person. Everybody can't do it. It's a special calling. I know tonight we're all going to be inspired by acts of service and selflessness, and it's an honor to stop, pause, and thank them for first responders, because this is your night. So before we get to the awards, we have a special guest presentation by another native Detroiter who is now a Las Vegas headliner and award-winning magician. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Aaron Rades, the magical entertainer, to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carol. Boy, what an introduction. It's so nice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my extreme pleasure to be here before all of you and to be able to entertain you for the next few moments. I am, in fact, born and raised from Detroit, grew up in Dearborn Heights, went to Catholic Central High School, and went to Central Michigan University. And now I get to perform all over the world as a magician. And for all of you people, it's a very humbling experience to have an audience of everyone here and what you do. Please give yourselves a big round of applause for being the people that you are. All right, onward and upward. I'm going to have someone help me from their seat. I'm going to have, I'd like to get someone here. Actually, this lady right in the middle. Ma'am, right here on your phone. Yes, would you help me out for a moment? You don't have to come up, but would you just stand up, though, for a moment for me, please? Yes, and would you just shout out your name? Linda, perfect. Linda, thank you so much for helping me. Linda, you and I have never met before, right? We've never met. We didn't set this up. But I believe I have the ability to read Linda's mind. I'm going to show you a quick example of this. Linda, you stay right where you are. I'm going to toss an object out to you, Linda, okay? It's actually a book. It's an invisible book. Work with me, people. Linda, catch it if you would. Good catch. Would you go ahead and open the book up to any random page? It's upside down, Linda. Stop screwing around. You got to flip it over. What Linda's holding there is a book on insects, bugs for you lay people, all different types of bugs. I want you to pick a page, Linda, and turn the book around so I can see the two insects on your page. Aha! I see on one side a big picture of a ladybug, and on the other side a picture of a bumblebee. Linda, between the bumblebee and the ladybug, which one caught your attention first? Which one? The bumblebee? Would you like to change your mind? Oh, she's happy with the mind she has. That's good. All right. Linda, close that book. Toss it back up here to me. You can have a seat. You've been a good sport. Give her a round of applause for that, ladies and gentlemen. She had a choice between two things, the ladybug and the bumblebee. She said what? The bumblebee. Ladies and gentlemen, before you even entered the room here this evening, I placed right here at the base of the podium one prediction that she would in fact say, the bumblebee. Thank you. Thank you. That takes many years of practice and rehearsal, ladies and gentlemen. That's a technique that's known as mentalism, and when you do refine it enough, it can be quite impressive. Let me get all my gear out of the way here. I'm going to put this over here on the other side. Okay, that's good, just like that. Now, I began magic when I was very young here in the streets of Detroit. My friends were all playing with one of these right here, a jump rope, but I was never very good at jump roping. So I asked my friends in the neighborhood if I could do a little demonstration with it. They said that would be all right. I began by first borrowing said jump rope as well as a pair of scissors, trimming off an end there and the other one right over here. Now, this didn't exactly win their friendship, but I told them not to worry because everything that they were about to see was nothing more than just an illusion. They seemed kind of confused by that statement, so I told them I would demonstrate by bringing the center to the top, giving the rope a cut, dividing it into two. You can clearly see it, the rope is cut. You can tell by the fact that there are now two pieces and four ends. But the best part about an illusion is that you always get a new beginning. Thank you. I'm going to try it a different way this time. Instead of using those scissors over there, I've got another pair here in my pocket. These are actually imaginary scissors. I'm going to trim that rope a little bit right there. Trim a little more right there. We'll get rid of that altogether and watch that rope will go right back into one, just like that. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now, at this point, one of my friends asked me if I could make a knot vanish. A knot vanish. I had never tried that before. I was quite intrigued. Obviously, in order to make a knot vanish, you're going to need a knot, which you get by simply cutting that rope in half and tying a big fat one right there at the top. Now, the thing about restoring a rope by simply tying it back together, it's not that impressive. Most people could do magic of this nature. So here's a question I have for all of you. Do you like the knot there, or would you like to see the knot down here? Where? Watch carefully, people. Just a little joke, just a little joke. But watch as I spin that rope around, arrow get inside, pop that knot right off, and put it right back into one. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Before I came up here today, I had a gentleman in the back. I believe he was one of our firefighters. He stopped, knew I was going to do some magic tonight, and asked if I could teach you all some magic you could take home. This actually is something I was excited about. I went to the kitchen. I borrowed the items we need. You could do this with things you have at home. Very simple magic demonstration involving nothing more than a brown bag, and inside is a bottle of blood. Red Heinz tomato ketchup. Bottle of ketchup goes inside the brown paper bag. I'm going to concentrate on that bottle carefully. Snap my fingers and watch. Gone. Shut up, ma'am. A snap of the fingers. And in reverse, that bottle of ketchup will come back just like that. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Please. Oh, that was fast. All right. I can see you folks are more magic sophisticated than I was hoping for. We'll go ahead and move on to something else, and if you're going to be like that, it's all right. Show me the love. Where is it? Where's the love? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite a married couple up on stage to help me out. Do we have any husbands or wives out here at all? Husbands or wives? And you can feel free to point them out at your table. Yeah, those folks right there. Yeah, where are they at? Yeah, that looks like that's probably the closest. Do we have anyone on that side? That's the way you gotta go. Yeah, we'll take those people over here. All right, so everyone's pointing at gentleman with glasses. A lady's got floral print on her shirt. Yeah, folks, will you go that way? They're waving to you over there to bring you up on stage. Yeah, give these people some love for being a good sport. Wonderful. While they're making their way up here, I get the pleasure of telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that my last name is Raditz, and you might recognize that last name as my uncle, Bill Raditz, served on the Detroit Police Force for 42 years and was a corporal and recently retired. So, yes, thank you. We've had a long history in our family with different law enforcement, and we're so very proud of that, but he's the one that always stands out. Folks, how are you? What's your name, sir? Tim, nice to meet you. Your name, ma'am? Tanya and Tim, I got you. I'm going to divide you two up. Tanya, could I have you stand on this side of me, please? Right over here, and Tim right there. Perfect. Now, you two said husband and wife, yes? That's good. And how many happy years?
All of them.
All of them. Oh, that's a good answer.
I trained him well.
Well trained indeed. Has it been a long time, though, or are you newlyweds? 10 years. Oh, that's very nice. 10 years. That's great. I asked my parents recently. They just celebrated their 48th wedding anniversary, my parents. And I asked them the secret to a long and happy marriage, and I thought their answer was cute. They said 2 romantic dinners every week. Isn't that something? My mom goes on Tuesdays and my dad on Fridays. It's a true story. Tim, Tanya, and I are going to do some magic with an item I brought along in this bag. It's nothing more than a jacket. That is a straitjacket. Oh, you've seen one. Made of rawhide. canvas, and steel. 3 very tough and durable materials. I'm going to place the jacket on backwards and give our friends from the audience step-by-step instructions on how to fasten me inside. Tim, I'm going to begin with you, sir. Would you buckle that top buckle behind my neck, as well as the 3 below it? Make all 4 of those buckles as tight as you possibly can. That's awkward. All right. And Tanya, you can watch on to make sure he doesn't screw anything up, okay? Just like at home for 10 years. After those buckles are complete going down my back, we will have encased my chest inside of the jacket, and then we'll work next to the sleeves so you can see my hands and my fingers are actually sewn inside. Tanya, how's he doing back there? All right, let's just say great, yeah. Sir, after that 4th one, the arms are next. I'm going to crisscross them so you can actually do these behind my back. This will take away, oh goodness, it'll take away a lot of my balance and arm usage. So Tim, go ahead and make this one nice and tight. Show no mercy. That's good. Fine job. All right. Now all the straps are in place except for one. Tanya. Yes, Tanya, if you come over here, please. Ma'am, take hold of that strap hanging there. Right down there, Tanya. Just grab onto that strap. Make sure it's the strap you grab. Okay. Tanya, take your sweet time, dear, and go ahead and buckle that one nice and carefully. Thanks for the estimation, but you can make it a little bit tighter. Yeah, just a little bit tighter. Right there. That's good. Right there, right there. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and lock it in. Is it all secured? She said her finger stuck. I don't know what the hell that means. All right. Now all the buckles are in place. You can see what this looks like from the back. And no, it's not comfortable. But before we go any further, would you give our new friends from the audience a big round of applause? Thank you both so very much. Careful going down the steps. I now present to you Harry Houdini's Straitjacket Escape.
Walked through a party in a county jail. Prison man was down and began to wail. The joint was jumping and the blood began to swing. You should have heard us not out there, but sing, let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody on the whole cell block. Let's dance at the jailhouse rock. Spider Murphy played a tenor saxophone. Little Joey blowing on a slide trombone. A drummer boy from Illinois, crash, boom, bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody on the old cell block. They was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Well, on number 47, said it number 3. You're the cutest jailbird I ever did see. I sure would be delighted with your company. Come on and do the jailhouse rock with me. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody on the old cell block. They're dancing to the jailhouse rock. Let's rock.
Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the program.
You know, they say the hardest thing is to compete with kids or animals. I disagree. Competing with a magician, holy God. That was great. Thank you, Aaron. That was wonderful. So we're all now going to try to figure out this by how he did some of these magic act and secret acts and everything like that. But let's move on here and move with the evening and the things we're here to celebrate. It's time to introduce you to tonight's real host, the Detroit Public Safety Foundation. Now, she is not a magician, but she does seem to work her magic everywhere she goes. Patty Kakula, who's been a friend of mine for a long time, has been the executive director of the Detroit Public Safety Foundation for, I think, 5 years. And time goes by when you're having fun. And has grown the foundation to about $3 million a year operation. Before we welcome Patty and co-vice chairman of the DPS Board of Trustees, Sharima Bulchek, to the stage, let's learn a little bit more about the work supporting Detroit's first responders. And true to form, I'm in TV, so let's have a video.
Detroit Public Safety Foundation is a nonprofit, and it came together back in 2003 as the Detroit Police Foundation. And really, what we do is support areas where the city's budget, things that are important, but things that the city's budget might not cover.
There's only so much money to go around, and many times during the year, there's a great need that comes up within the departments. And we're able to go out and secure donations or in-kind contributions to fill those needs.
The Public Safety Foundation has just been an amazing partner for the police department, really bridging that budgetary gap for things that are not covered in our annual budget, supporting our community engagement programs. They've been amazing with our peer support work that we've done, our DPD Fit, the internal programs that we have to make sure that our officers stay both physically and mentally fit. It's been just a great partner for us.
The Detroit Public Safety Foundation is extremely important to the Detroit Fire Department. We often run into times where we need assistance and we need help, and it's not readily available, but those times we've been able to turn to the Detroit Public Safety Foundation, and they have delivered every single time.
We are the community in which we serve. The partnerships with our community are paramount to our success.
And our community, our business community, our residents, they give and they give and they give because they know that our Detroit Public Safety Department is the finest around.
The support that our first responders get through the Detroit Public Safety Foundation from the community is absolutely fabulous, and that includes the business community, that includes national corporations, local companies, our sports teams, the auto industry. You know, everybody really comes together when they have an opportunity to support our first responders.
Knowing that we have that support is extremely important, and we're just grateful that we have organizations out there that support the Detroit Fire Department.
It's the partnership and the support of the police department that's not only humbling to me as a member of this agency, but I recognize the need. Having been here in this agency for over 25 years, I remember the days when we didn't have a public safety foundation and how so many needs went unmet.
Everybody wants our area to thrive, and we can't thrive unless we're safe, and we can't be safe unless we have great first responders.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patty Kakula, Executive Director, Detroit Public Safety Foundation, and Sharima Bulchek, Co-Vice Chair, DPSF.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 Above and Beyond Award Ceremony. I'm Sharima Bulchek, and I have the honor of serving as co-vice chair of the Detroit Public Safety Foundation, along with Mike Bruggeman. I welcome you tonight on behalf of our board and our board chairman, Mike Ritchie with Comerica Bank, who had a conflict and was unable to attend this evening. To all of our first responders in the room, we hope that you feel loved, encouraged, and uplifted by our sponsors, our guests, and everyone in between that aren't in the room tonight. You have a city and a community that support you. We do not take your sacrifices for granted and want to honor you and your families tonight. Thank you to our board members who volunteered their time, their talents, and funds to support our mission and Detroit's first responders. Would all the board members for the Detroit Public Safety Foundation please stand?
Buddy, there you go.
Thank you. We would not be successful without your commitment. What an honor to have our chairman emeritus, Reginald Turner, joining us tonight with his family. Without James B. Nicholson, and Reginald Turner, there would not be a Detroit Public Safety Foundation. Thank you to our sponsors, our donors. Without your support and generosity, we would not be able to meet the growing needs of our police and fire departments. A special thanks goes to our presenting sponsors, Rocket Companies and Comerica Bank, and to each and every one of you who support us in so many ways, not only tonight, but throughout the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharima. I know I push our board members, and I know this was a little hard for you to come up and speak because you're usually doing so much behind the scenes, but I want to thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you.
It's nice having longtime friends on the board, too, so thank you. And Aaron, thank you so much. I'm really excited to have you in town from Vegas and from Branson, and Aaron's parents are in the audience tonight, too, so I was glad they were coming tonight. So thank you again for your wonderful magic tricks. You know, this has been 10 years that Above and Beyond has been held, and it's really, really very special. We've really awarded so many medals of honor, and sadly, a handful of posthumous Purple Hearts. We've been brought to our feet with gratitude and moved to tears and sadness over the ultimate sacrifices that our first responders have made. The real loss for those left to grieve, their fallen heroes, like the family of Officer Lauren Courts, who will be recognized later this evening. But tonight is to celebrate the spirit, the love, the dedication that you give to our city and to our community. It's just incredible amount of courage, strength, and devotion that you give freely every day. But our sponsors, and I know Sharima mentioned earlier how important it is to have the donors and our board members who donate generously all the time. We couldn't offer the things to our first responders without our donors. We couldn't offer the programs that the first responders do without our donors. And tonight, we have 52 table sponsors. There's almost 600 people here tonight, and we actually kind of limited it because we thought, well, it's really kind of the first time of getting together with the large group. But it's just amazing that all of the money that has flown through our foundation over this past year. But I'd really like to thank our staff. You know, we have a very small staff. Carter Drury, I don't know, she's probably out in the back. She gave up her seat somebody tonight, so she didn't even eat. But Carter is just an amazing person who does a tremendous job. Most of you have worked with her directly all the time. She puts together all of our announcements, our Facebooks, and she puts together the wonderful program book. I hope you have a chance to look through that program book because the stories of our first responders are really, really heartwarming. And she also does our grants and so much more. Elaine Washington, who's at her sister's wedding tonight and couldn't be here, she does our finances. Jeff Lameau, I mean, if anybody ever has worked with Jeff Lameau, he's out in the hallway. He won't come in here and eat because he doesn't want to put on a suit. But he's out there selling goods for the gift shop, and he's, as you know, a tremendous asset for police officers' families in particular, maintaining all of the information and helping folks find different historical facts about their loved ones who were Detroit police officers. So I'm very fortunate to be in this position for the last 5 years. Nina Payne, you know, Foundation Management, her company was started through this event 10 years ago. She has grown exponentially. She's just an amazing events planner. We also, of course, have Elevate, who does all of our production. It's so first class, isn't it? Look at this, that's behind us all for our first responders. We're just very pleased that we've been working with them over the last 10 years. But this event really matters. Really matters. Showing our appreciation, our gratitude, and the respect that we have for all of you, for the men and women who go out there every day. It's very meaningful to all of us that try and help and show you that we appreciate what you do every day of your lives, and you give to us your family sacrifice, and we know that, and we want to be the best that we can to help you achieve your goals and try and make your life a little bit better. The foundation has been around since 2011, I believe. It was the Detroit Police Department Foundation, and then it became the Detroit Public Safety, which included, of course, the fire. But it's really your foundation, and we're here to support the dangerous and difficult job that you do in any way that we can.
Our board of directors and donors are committed to advancing the programs, training, technology, equipment, community engagement, and wellness activities. Very important these days is the wellness activities. We do want to help you in any way that we can help you stay safe while you protect our residents and protect our visitors and businesses. I'd like to thank Police Chief James White, Executive Commissioner Charles Sims, and their dedicated staff. It's such a joy to work with you each day and all of your folks under your command. They're so respectful to us, and they're very just good people, and it's just a joy to have them in our offices every day. Elected officials that are here today, we want to thank all of you. This is the first time we've had this many city council members at our event. We want to thank the council for what they did for Detroit Police recently. Huge. Council President Mary Sheffield, Councilmember Mary Waters, Councilmember Coleman Young Jr., Councilmember Gabriela Santiago Romero, also Councilmember Fred Durhall. You are a dynamite force, and we are looking forward to what you can do for the city of Detroit and all of us. We also have the ever-present Detroit Police Commissioners, Willie Bell and Linda Bernard, always here. We do not have an event without their showing, and we appreciate your support. I hope I haven't missed any elected officials. Oh yeah, that guy, Judge James Shalinsky. That's my husband. It's the only judge here tonight. Thank you. But I do want to talk a little bit about what we've been doing this past year, a little bit about our history. You'll notice that we have some of the pictures from the early event in 2012, 10 years ago. Above and Beyond actually was an idea of former police chief James Craig. He brought it from Los Angeles, and I think it's just kept growing and growing every year. The first year that the event was held, the foundation through that year was raised $541,000. In 2017, our net was just under $1 million, so we started to pick up in 2017. And last year, we actually grossed over $3.7 million in grants, donations, and in-kind. I know that the folks feel it in here because I'll call and say, I got pallets of this stuff from Amazon. I got pallets of this. Can you take it? What can you do with it? I've got this much donated. It's pretty exciting when they pick up the phone and say, okay, we'll go get it. No problem, Patty. But we keep growing and our momentum growing to try and take on bigger projects and programs that we really hope impact public safety in Detroit. In 2021, we received more than $1 million in grant funding for the Detroit Police Department's Mental Health Co-Response Partnership. We had received funding from Hudson Weber, new donors of the Flynn Foundation, Ballroom Group, and thank you, City of Detroit Philanthropy. I know that Karen Brown is here, who used to be a contractor for us, and the city stole her as a grant writer. Thank you, Karen Brown and Claire from the Department of Grants and Philanthropy. We actually have this funding for to have additional crisis intervention training and important partnerships with Detroit Wayne County Integrated Health Network and others so that we can better serve those suffering of mental illness and crisis in our city. We continue to work on a lot of grants and projects with Detroit Fire Department as well. Motorola Solutions Foundation provided grant funding this year to support the DFD Junior Cadet Program, and we're working on a very important program to reach a larger group of community initiatives for prevention messaging for all citizens on fire prevention. So we're really excited about that grant. Hopefully will be coming, and we thank you for all of your input for all of that. But we're constantly evolving. We're trying to find new ways to support and grow with the departments that their needs that they have. But this is a really important event to us tonight, and I'm just so grateful for all of you to come out tonight and enjoy this and celebrate the wonderful Detroit Police Department, Detroit Fire Department, and their EMS. We look forward to recognizing all of our first responders tonight with their awards and hearing the stories of your bravery. But let me turn things back over to our wonderful moderator, Carol Kane, for our first award of the night. Carol?
You did great. Another round of applause. I mean, pulling off an event like this with this many people, the resources, the logistics, having done events, I'm in awe. Anyways, so before we get to the civilian awards, we need our Detroit Fire Department leadership, award recipients, and presenters to please go backstage right now. So this event is to honor our first responders who go above and beyond the call of duty. In addition, 2 civilian awards are given to individuals or companies who also go above and beyond in our community. The Public Safety Partner Award is for a company which has truly been a partner to the foundation and Detroit's first responders. The City Changemaker Award is for someone who impacts the city in a positive way, making it a better place in which to live. Donnell White, Detroit Public Safety Foundation board member and vice president at Huntington Bank, is here and going to present the Public Safety Partner Award. Put your hands together for Donnell.
Thank you, Carol. Good evening. It is my honor to present the Public Safety Partner Award this year. Credit unions play an important role in our national financial system. A very dedicated and deeply engaged credit union for Detroit's employees and first responders is being recognized this evening. This year's recognition for the Public Safety Partner Award is Diversified Member Credit Union. In December of 2021, DMCU donated $50,000 to the Detroit Fire Department, providing funding to each of the department's 38 firehouses and $31,000 to purchase tablets, helping the department dual train as medical first responders. Then, in May of 2022, Diversified Members Credit Union stepped up as the title sponsor for the DPD Teen Wellness Summit. These are just a few of the many projects that DMCU continues to support for DPD and DFD. Here is a video showing more about their commitment to Detroit's first responders.
As the Business Development Officer serving the City of Detroit's employees as well as the first responders, I have the honor and the privilege to work with the first responders. When they ask me to be part of their training sessions as well as the police and the fire academy, it brings me great joy and is also the most rewarding part of my job. This year, DMCU was also the main sponsor for the Teen Summit, which was a great event that I was part of. When most people think about first responders, they think about men and women that put out fires, fight crime, and save lives. And although that is a huge part of what they do, they also build a strong community. Our Detroit first responders are out on the streets every day working with teens, seniors, and the community. And through their efforts, they make Detroit the best place to live and work. It is truly amazing. And I speak for many when I say that the Detroit first responders are the best. They serve in a moment's notice, as well as they plan for the future. And Diversified Members Credit Union is so very proud to be part of their efforts. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to say thank you and I love you all. At Diversified Members Credit Union, we believe that the first responders are the backbone of safety in our communities. There will never be enough thank yous that we can extend to these brave men and women. But we can and will support them and be there for them in their journey to provide for our community. In 2022, DMCU supported many initiatives like the Teen Summit, Wellness Walks, and Domestic Violence Awareness Month, just to name a few. In December 2021, DMCU donated $50,000 to the Detroit Fire Department. $19,000 of that donation went to DFD's 38 firehouses to help fund each house's individual needs, and the remaining $31,000 was used to purchase tablets helping firefighters train as EMTs.
Please join me in welcoming Jerry Pokorski, Board Member for Diversified Members Credit Union. Jerry is accepting the award on behalf of Diversified Members Credit Union.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and first responders. On behalf of the Diversified Members Credit Union Board of Directors, management, and award-winning employees, I would like to thank you for this Community Impact Award. Being honored by an organization that serves others truly makes this award special to all of us at DMCU. Receiving this reward and reflecting on the amazing things that the Detroit Public Safety Foundation does for first responders, which in turn benefits everyone in the community, enhances the honor we feel in accepting this award. To our first responders, we can never thank you enough for all that you do to keep our communities safe. Please know that your courage, strength, and willingness to serve your communities is never forgotten or unnoticed by your friends at DMCU. And to the families of the first responders, thank you for the great sacrifices you make in support of our first responders. Thank you again, stay safe, and God bless.
And congratulations again to Diversified Members Credit Union. What a commitment to serving Detroit's first responders. Now it's my privilege to introduce Deputy Mayor of Detroit, Todd Bettison, to present the James B. Nicholson City Changemaker Award. And I don't know if Jim is here or not, but talk about Changemaker. Jim Nicholson has had his hands in helping in community in so many different ways. I've known him for years, and he is a huge champion. So I'm happy to hear who's getting this award tonight. So put your hands together for the Deputy Mayor.
First, I'd like to start out by taking the opportunity to first thank the first responders. You know, first responders definitely hold a special place in my heart. I retired from the Detroit Police Department after 27 years. I know firsthand the dedication, the service, the bravery, the sacrifice of our Detroit police officers, Detroit firefighters, EMS. Now, on behalf of the mayor, Mike Duggan, and the city of Detroit, we salute our first responders. Your sacrifice definitely does not go unnoticed, and you are true heroes, and to the ladies, sheroes. Now, it is my distinct honor to present the next award for the 2022 James B. Nicholson Changemaker. The City Changemaker Award is for a person or organization impacting the city of Detroit in a positive way, making it a better place for everyone. This year's recipient, Cindy Paske and Eric, he told me not to mention the middle initial, but I will, B. Larson, are doing just that through their work with the Downtown Detroit Partnership. And their work, their impact goes further than just downtown. Downtown is definitely the heartbeat of Detroit, but the work and the partnership, the cooperation spreads throughout the entire city, the neighborhoods. It is definitely one Detroit. Cindy Paske is the chairperson of the Powerhouse Board at the Downtown Detroit Partnership. Eric Larson serves as the CEO of DDP. This dynamic duo is truly making a positive change in the city through their work with the DDP by bringing some of the biggest businesses, the leaders of Detroit together. They invest in the strategic programs and activities which promote, advocate, and energize our downtown. Let's hear a little bit more about their contributions with this short video. Let's cue it up. It is my great honor to present this award to Cindy Paske and Eric Larson, true changemakers for the city of Detroit.
Well, thank you, and good evening, everybody. It's an honor for Eric and I to, one, be able to work together every day and to share an award. And I do want to, with it being Veterans Day, I'm assuming we have some veterans in the audience. If we do, could you please stand so we could thank you for your service? Thank you. I know it's actually tomorrow, but in the S3 world, it's every single day, as it should be. It's also fitting to quote Winston Churchill, because without his leadership, our world today would look very different. And I think this applies to everyone that serves our city in a uniform. To improve, to change, to be perfect is to change often. Thanks to our law enforcement officers, first responders, and the Detroit Public Safety Foundation, we live in a safe city where individuals come to work and families can enjoy the many activities, and visitors come and experience firsthand what Detroit really is. Thanks to my colleague, Eric Larson, for his exceptional and outstanding and dedicated leadership for DDP, along with our very small but incredibly talented team. Our goal for 100 years and for the next 100 years is to make sure that Detroit is first safe, second clean, and third inviting to everyone from every background, of every shape, size, income level, in our parks, in our green spaces, and then equally important to make sure that we never do anything for the downtown that can't be shared, learned, and brought to the communities. A special thank you to our Biz ambassadors. When you see them, please look them in the eye and thank them. For many of them, it's their first opportunity to change their station in life, and they're doing a job that most of us wouldn't want to do, and they do it with pride and a smile on their face every day. And the thing that I always remind my team about, all of our first responders, there is nothing in the S3 world that will ever match or ever be as hard, or ever be as important as what all of you do every single day. So thank you, and God bless you.
So I just want to really briefly first thank Sharima, Mike, Patty for this opportunity and this honor. It really is amazing to be able to not only work with our partners at the Detroit Police Department, the Detroit Fire Department, and EMS, but what you saw on that video would not be possible without what you do every day, without the selflessness that you show in every aspect of what you do throughout the day. And quite frankly, it wouldn't make our team as successful without that kind of partnership. So I am blessed to be in this position. I am thankful to have the kind of leadership that you just heard from Cindy Paske, and I am grateful for the ability to stand here with you in making Detroit not only a better city, but the greatest city for us to live, work, and play in. So with that, I really appreciate the opportunity, I appreciate the recognition, but the reality is this recognition is about you tonight. This recognition is about the team that supports us every day, and it's about the fact that we have a city that is not only a great place to be, but a place that people want to come back to. So thank you again, and God bless you.
Congratulations again to Diversified Members Credit Union and to Cindy Paske and Eric Larson. It's so great to see organizations and people in our community who are so committed to our first responders and giving back to Detroit. I did an interview with Sparky Anderson, the general manager of the Detroit Tigers, who won the World Series decades ago, and I talked with him literally, it was the last interview he did before he passed. And we talked about all the things he did while he was here in Detroit, winning the World Series, a bunch of other things. He had started Catch, an organization, was working with them to help kids in the city. And I asked him, about everything you've done in Detroit, what are you most proud of? He said, I'm proud of the city itself. He said, people in Detroit are so charitable, they're so giving, they just want to help the city. He's never seen it anywhere he'd ever lived. So Sparky's words, I know, ring true still today here. So with that, we're going to move on now to our first responders. And we're going to be hearing stories of bravery. You're going to be inspired. These men and women truly represent the best of the best. The Medal of Valor is for extreme bravery in dangerous circumstances. The Purple Heart is for those injured, even maybe killed in the line of duty. And the Emergency Medical Merit Award is for the excellence in EMS. Without further ado, let's kick it off with the Detroit Fire Department. And now please welcome Executive Fire Commissioner Charles Sims and his wonderful executive team to present the awards for the Detroit Fire Department. Please welcome them.
Good evening. I would like to begin by saying congratulations to the Detroit Public Safety Foundation on your 10th anniversary, and thank you for faithfully and consistently assisting our first responders by supplying them with critical needs and unlimited support. Thank you to all the contributors for your continued support and unselfish donations to ensure that there are means available to allow our first responders to continue to be heroes and beacons of hope for the citizens of Detroit. Thank you to my brother in blue, Chief James White, for your leadership of one of the best police departments in the nation, and all the Detroit police officers for their selfless work you do on a daily basis to keep our streets safe. And finally, thank you to all my Detroit Fire Department family, the Detroit Fire Department firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, investigators, inspectors, dispatchers, instructors, and community relations coordinators for your unwavering dedication, commitment, and passion to provide the best fire and medical service and continue to do what's best for the citizens of Detroit. You should be proud to represent one of the most prestigious and esteemed fire departments in the world. While many people were working remotely, our DFD and DPD brothers and sisters withstood the uncertainty and anxiety of the global pandemic. Every day, they reported to duty to risk their lives and the lives of their family members to service others. They never withdrew from their duties nor questioned their actions to provide superior services to those in need. To highlight a few DFD accomplishments, all members hired on the department now are trained as firefighter EMTs, which will provide a higher level of medical care to the citizens of Detroit. I'm proud to say that Detroit has the newest fleet of fire trucks and ambulances in the country, as well as the most up-to-date technology. DFD also has committed to train every 8th grader annually in the city of Detroit hands-only CPR to help increase the cardiac arrest survival rate in our region, as well as ensuring every home in the city of Detroit has installed smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Tonight, you will hear some of the most courageous and heroic acts displayed by the heroes in this room, from firefighters crawling through intense smoke and flame to save a child, to EMTs performing medical care to a severely injured woman who was also 7 months pregnant. In addition, you will be made aware of a story where first responders had to even rescue their own. These heroes often don't realize the imminent danger they are faced with until they have provided security to those in peril. With that, these recipients are deserving of our gratitude for the selfless ways they serve Detroit. In your time of need, we will be there. In your time of uncertainty, we will be there. And in your time of despair, we will be there. I am honored and grateful to be standing on this stage in this room full of heroes. In closing, I congratulate and thank all award recipients for going above and beyond the call of duty, and I thank the families for your continued support for these heroes. Thank you, and God bless.
All right. Good evening. On April 4th of this year, Engine 56 responded to a house fire where neighbors said a female was possibly trapped inside. The crew entered the home without a charge line for protection and through intense heat with heavy, thick black smoke that was billowing from the ceiling to the floor. Firefighter Craig Wyman found the unconscious victim in the back bedroom on the floor by the door. Firefighter Wyman grabbed the unconscious victim, and his lieutenant grabbed his tank straps and guided him to the front door, where he handed over the lifeless woman for medical care. After that, he went back inside the home looking for more victims, and luckily there were none. The woman regained a pulse and was breathing when she left the scene for treatment. For his bravery and actions, firefighter Craig Wyman is receiving the Medal of Valor.
Evening. EMT Daniel Marcy and EMT Travis Van Gordon, Medal of Valor recipients. On August 22nd, 2022, EMTs Travis Van Gordon and Daniel Marcy were responding to a call when they saw a woman who was being assaulted at 7 Mile and Gratiot. Fearing for her safety, they requested a scout car and activated their emergency lights as they pulled over and stopped. The medics got out of the ambulance and came between the victim and the aggressor, trying to protect the woman. They were able to get to the victim to the back of the ambulance. The aggressor followed, but they continued to block him, and even after the victim had told them he had a knife in his pocket. They managed to get out of the area, taking the victim to safety. The brave and quick actions helped protect a woman in great danger, even at the risk of their own personal safety coming between an armed aggressor. For their actions, they are receiving the Medal of Valor.
On January 5th of this year, Engine 40 responded to a house fire with people trapped inside. Firefighter Desmond Orr entered the home without water from the hard line. The fire was on the second floor, and someone was trapped in the back bedroom. Firefighter Orr climbed the stairs through the intense heat and maneuvered past the room that was on fire with flames billowing out. He searched the first bedroom, didn't find anyone. In the second bedroom, he found an elderly man unconscious on the bed. Firefighter Orr carried the man out into the hall, where another firefighter helped carry the man outside. Firefighter Orr immediately administered first aid, providing oxygen and burn care, but he wasn't done yet. He also accompanied the man to EMS to the hospital, continuing to care for the man that he rescued. For his dedication and service, he is receiving the Medal of Valor.
On July 31st, 2022, EMS Captain James Gaetano and Lieutenant Jason Jennings saw a sedan strike a slingshot motorcycle, causing it to flip. They immediately stopped and began rendering aid to the injured occupants of the slingshot. The sedan had crashed into a building and the driver was unconscious and trapped. As Captain Gaetano and Lieutenant Jennings tried to remove debris and rescue the trapped driver, they noticed the sedan and the building were both on fire. The smoke and heat became overwhelming, but they continued working to pull the trapped driver out of the side window. They were able to rescue the driver, pulling him away from the fire. Without the action of Captain Gaetano and Lieutenant Jennings, the trapped victim would have died. They risked their safety to rescue him through the growing fire, and for that, they are receiving the Medal of Valor.
Good evening. On June 15, 2022, senior firefighter Frederick Thomas and his crew began searching an apartment building engulfed in flames. He heard screams from a 67-year-old woman who was trapped in her second-floor apartment next to a hall in an apartment engulfed in flames. With excessive heat and smoke billowing out of her window, the woman was positioning to jump. Senior firefighter Thomas remained calm and told her that he was coming for her. Senior firefighter Thomas remained calm and not waiting for help. He raised the extension ladder to her window and climbed to her. Through thick black smoke, significant heat, and great danger to himself, he reached the woman who then stated she could not walk. Senior firefighter Thomas carried the semi-lethargic woman from the second-floor window down to medical care. She had inhaled massive amounts of smoke, was approaching shock, and had extreme difficulty breathing. His actions certainly saved her life that day. Please join us in honoring senior firefighter Frederick Thomas with the Medal of Valor. On September 25th, 2022, EMT Leon Webb and the firefighter EMT Malik Thompson, along with a crew of Engine 30, were dispatched to a female with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They found the woman in cardiac arrest with no vital signs. While initiating CPR and applying an AED, it was discovered that she was 7 months pregnant. At that time, the crucial decision was made to continue life-saving efforts and transport the woman to the ER in hopes of saving the unborn baby. EMTs Webb and Thompson, along with help from Engine 30, carefully took the woman from the home, ensuring minimal interruptions to CPR and ventilations. The emergency team at Sinai Grace performed an emergency C-section, and after several minutes of active warming, stimulation, and assisted ventilations, she gained a pulse, and the infant began to breathe on her own. The baby was rushed to the neonatal intensive care unit for further treatment. The EMT's quick action and dedication to the preservation of life is to be commended. For their service, they are receiving the Emergency Medical Merit Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage from Comerica Bank, Linda Nosby.
Good evening, everyone. On January 3rd, multiple Detroit fire crews responded to a house fire with a family trapped inside. The first responders responded immediately, went into search mode, while Engine 30 began fire suppression. During their search, firefighters Kamal Green, Catherine Riley, Daryl Freeman,
II and Lieutenant Ronald Mitchell were able to rescue a young girl and get her to safety to EMS. Personnel firefighters Tyrone Calloway and DeMarcus McCoy found a young boy and carried him to safety through a second-story window. While waiting, firefighters carried the child down the ladder. As the search for victims continued, Sergeants Jason Myers and Darrell Lee and firefighter John Floyd found the mother of the children. As they were helping her to safety, Sergeant Myers heard what he thought was a cat or kitten. It turned out to be an infant who fell from its mother's arms in the chaos. Sergeant Myers scooped up the baby and immediately carried it downstairs to safety, undoubtedly saving the small child's life. In all, the firefighters rescued a mother, 3 small children that day. For their bravery and life-saving services, they're receiving the Medal of Valor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Letty Azar, Vice President, Community and Government Affairs, Penske Corporation.
Good evening. On July 28th, multiple Detroit fire crews were dispatched to a 2-story dwelling fire that was burning through the roof. The decision was made to do a defensive attack to control the fire. Ladder 18 contained the fire using their water tower, and then an interior search operation was conducted. During the search, the structure collapsed, trapping Lieutenant Paul Fillmore, Lieutenant Darren Tillman, Lieutenant Maurice Funchess. Lieutenant Funchess called the initial mayday, and rescue efforts began. Firefighters Desmond Orr and Lucas Mattoon were able to hold on to a fire hose as the floor collapsed, keeping them from being trapped and allowing them to free Lieutenant Funchess first. They were then able to free Lieutenant Tillman. When Lieutenant Fillmore was located, additional manpower was required. After more than an hour and a half, the crews were able to successfully remove Lieutenant Paul Fillmore from the collapse. During the collapse and rescue mission, many firefighters were injured. Lieutenant Darren Tillman suffered bruised muscles and bones, 2 broken teeth, and a large cut to the top of his head. Lieutenant Maurice Funchess suffered bruised muscles and bones. Lieutenant Paul Fillmore suffered bruised muscles and bones in his right leg and shoulder. Firefighter Desmond Orr suffered bruised bones and muscles in his abdominal cavity. Firefighters Timothy Kraft, Lucas Mattoon, Christopher Glob, and Timothy Horner suffered heat exhaustion. For their injuries in the line of duty, we are recognizing each member who was injured that day with the Purple Heart Award.
Put our hands together once again. Congratulations to the brave, the remarkable, the inspiring men and women of the Detroit Fire Department. It's truly amazing to hear their stories and realize how life and death these rescues are. Our first responders are the only ones who run into the burning buildings and towards gunfire. So can I ask right now, the Detroit Police Department leadership, the award recipients and presenters to please come upstage here, backstage over here. Before we turn to the Detroit Police Department's award recipients, we have some special people who wanted to congratulate our first responders on their awards and the Detroit Public Safety Foundation of 10 years for this fantastic event. So the video, please.
I'm Tyler Bertuzzi with the Detroit Red Wings.
I'm Adam Ernie with the Detroit Red Wings.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to our first responders.
With Detroit Police, Fire, and EMS.
You're appreciated and respected more than you guys know.
Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
Stay safe.
Now turning, these awards, these videos are good. Now turning to the Detroit Police Department and our heroes in blue. Turn your attention to the screen to hear from some of tonight's award recipients. We have another video here.
I'm Riley Green with the Detroit Tigers. Congratulations to the first responders being recognized at the Above and Beyond Award ceremony. We appreciate the hard work and sacrifices of all you first responders to help keep Detroit safe. Stay safe and thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Hi, my name is TJ Hawkinson with the Detroit Lions. On behalf of the Lions, I want to say thank you and congratulations to the first responders being recognized tonight. You are true heroes, and we appreciate your service and sacrifice. Stay safe out there and keep making Detroit proud. We salute you.
Hi everybody, I'm IndyCar driver Joseph Newgarden. I just want to congratulate the Detroit Public Safety Foundation. Congrats on 10 years. I also want to thank the men and women of the fire and police departments here in Detroit for everything that you do, keeping the city safe. And I cannot wait to see you on the new streets here that we'll be racing on next summer here in Detroit. So enjoy your evening. See you soon.
Hello, Detroit. This is Alonzo Bowden, comedian and sometimes host. First, I want to congratulate all the awardees tonight, the Detroit Police awardees, the Detroit Fire awardees, and all the first responders receiving awards for going above and beyond the call of duty. Congratulations and thank you. I also want to give a huge congratulations to the Detroit Public Safety Foundation for this, the 10th anniversary of the Above and Beyond Awards, honoring first responders who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. This is an absolutely fantastic event. I wish I could be there. I've hosted in the past. I am with you in spirit. I want to say congratulations to you all. Thank you for your service and have a beautiful night.
Just want to say, this is Bernie Smilovitz. Congratulations. Hi, welcome. What a great night for all you first responders, and what a great job you do all year long for the city of Detroit and all the folks involved. You should be congratulated, you should be honored, and I honor and salute you now. Nice work.
Dear Detroit first responders, thank you for serving our community. Thank you for saving the lives and property of our community. Most of all, thank you for risking life and limb to protect our community. May God continue to bless you and your families during the next decade and beyond. Please stay vigilant.
And now we're going to hear some Detroit Police Department videos. Okay, there's another video, I understand.
Grateful to have my partner. Grateful for the 9th Precinct, all the officers that was there that responded to the location as fast as they got there. And I'm grateful to be here.
So being partners with Miller for as long as we were, I want to say we were partners for about 8 months. You develop that connection with that person. You know, you kind of just look at it when you go to a certain run, and you know what your partner's going to do. Working 8 hours, 16 hours, sometimes even when we get stuck on a GSW scene, we're there 23 hours.
We got police officers across the country that did the same thing I did.
I'm very grateful for it. I'm just grateful that my partner and I are also here still. I hope other officers do get recognized for the stuff that they did as well.
We always agreed that if anything were to happen to us, make sure you stop the threat.
Well, it's nice to be recognized. I do want to thank the members of the Special Response Team, Detroit Police, for actually going above and beyond for themselves and doing their part in training people, and they wanted me to get recognized for this event.
I felt honored. I'm very thankful, especially to have a partner like Brandon Newman. I'm very proud of him for the actions that he took as a newer, younger officer. He didn't hesitate at all. So therefore, I would like to, say appreciation to him. It is very rewarding and very. It makes you happy to know that you have a partner who has your back.
To be honest, I was shocked. I haven't been on a job that long, so just the thought of someone above speaking my name, like, this officer did this, or it just shocks me that you're being recognized for something. Not a lot of, jobs you go into recognize their employees for the work that they do.
I don't do this job for any glory or any fame. It's what I'm supposed to do.
And now it is my honor to introduce Detroit Police Chief James White and his incredible executive team to present the awards for the Detroit Police Department.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here with us tonight, joining us at this Above and Beyond ceremony. Very beautiful ceremony, and it's so good to see all of you here in attendance. We took for granted a couple years ago how important it was to come together, so it's good to see everyone. I want to thank a few people really quick. Certainly want to thank my partner in public safety, Commissioner Charles Sims and his team for their hard work day in and day out and their support of the Detroit Police Department. I also want to thank our Mayor, Michael Duggan, our Deputy Mayor, Todd Bettison, and of course the Detroit Police Department, our sponsors, all of you, our families and friends and supporters of public safety. Again, I am honored to stand here before you tonight as Chief of Police. The officers are amazing. Their dedication to service and hard work and to community is second to none. This past year, we've experienced the most difficult thing a police department could experience. It's the single worst thing that can happen to a community in the police department, and that is the loss of our hero, Lauren Courts. And we talk about how great of a police officer he was and the legacy that he leaves behind. But I want to take a moment and talk about the importance and who he was, not only as a police officer, but the loss it is to his family to lose a son, to lose a dad, and to lose someone that's leading a family, a beautiful family that have lost their dad. And that's something that will stay with me in this department forever. We love this family, the Courts family and their grief. We think about it every single day. We will never forget. We will absolutely never forget the bravery that Officer Courts and his partner showed that night. Tonight, we pause to remember the situations that have unfortunately become normal for our officers. What we recognize as going above and beyond our officers call a day in the office. Tonight, you're going to hear some amazing stories of heroes. In fact, we are dealing with one right now that I'll be leaving out to address, and it's every single day. Men and women of police and fire, EMS, public safety, every single day they're out there protecting this community and making it safer for each and every one of us. Whether that is dodging gunfire from an armed suspect, or whether it's taking someone in custody that doesn't want to go. We're doing it every day. I can only hope that I could be as brave as the men and women that do what they do daily if I was thrust back into patrol as they are. Again, I want to thank every single public safety professional in this room tonight, both active and retired, for your dedication of service to the city of Detroit, to this community. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Detroit Police and Fire Department, and God bless the city of Detroit. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Greg McWhorter, Security Operations, Executive Services, Stellantis.
On Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, police officers Stephen Miller and Christina Messina were dispatched to an assault and battery in the 9th Precinct. Once on scene, they attempted to communicate with the offender, but he ignored them and walked inside. The victim told the officers that he was armed with a gun. The officers walked to the front of the house where they saw the offender run down the stairs. The officers immediately followed, giving verbal commands for him to stop. At the bottom of the staircase, they attempted to arrest the offender when he produced a handgun, pointed it at Officer Miller's head, and fired one shot, missing him. Officer Miller was able to disarm the offender and take him into custody without further incident. Officers Miller and Messina displayed true bravery and commitment in the face of danger. For their actions, they are receiving the Medal of Valor.
And now to the stage, Lashinda Stair, Senior Consultant, Software Enterprise, Motorola Solutions.
Good evening. On September 9th, 2021, police officers Tyler Scott Aline and Nicholas Gushin were patrolling the 12th precinct when they saw an individual standing in the street at the driver's side door of a vehicle impeding traffic. As they passed, the suspect kept his right side away from them as if he was concealing something. Officer Gushin stopped the vehicle, and before they could even begin their investigation, the driver jumped out armed with a handgun and began firing at Officer Gushin, grazing him in the abdomen. The suspect began to retreat, and Officer Aline attempted to grab him. The suspect began to fire at Officer Gushin again, and the officers fired back, fearing for their safety. The suspect was struck and fell to the ground. As Officer Aline began to handcuff the suspect, he attempted to break free. Both officers attempted to gain control of the suspect, who once again tried to produce his handgun. They were able to handcuff him and recover his weapon without further use of force. They put themselves in harm's way to get a dangerous criminal off the streets. For their service, they are receiving the Medal of Valor.
On Saturday, May 14th, 2022, Officers Matthew Webb and Brandon Newman were working on patrol when they heard several gunshots near their location in downtown Detroit. They immediately ran towards the gunshots. Knowing there were many people in the area, they saw the offender running toward them with his hands in his pockets as if he was concealing a firearm. The offender stopped with several other males in the alley. While Officer Newman pursued them on foot, the offender produced a small black handgun and began firing at the officers. Officer Webb produced his handgun while giving verbal orders for the offender to drop his weapon. The offender refused and continued to shoot. Due to the immediate threat and the safety of officers and others, Officer Webb discharged his weapon in the direction of the offender, striking him. As the officers attempted to render aid, a group of men began firing shots at the officers. They tried to take cover behind their SUV to protect themselves from the gunfire, and the suspects drove away. The offender was taken into custody without further incident. Police officers Webb and Newman acted courageously and calm in the face of a rapid evolving and potentially deadly circumstance. Their actions ensured that more people were not put in danger by the suspect. For their bravery and service, they are receiving the Medal of Valor.
On July 6, 2022, police officer Amanda Hutchins and Lauren Quartz responded to Joy World and Marlowe Street for a shot-fired police run. Upon arrival, the officers were ambushed by a shooter who was armed with an assault rifle and began firing shots from the second floor of a nearby building. Officer Lauren Quartz was struck by gunfire through the windshield of the scout car before he and Officer Hutchins could seek cover. Officer Quartz got out of the car and collapsed shortly thereafter. Without regard for her own safety, Officer Amanda Hutchins ran to her partner to render aid and to protect him from further gunshots, using her body to shield him. The shooter had exited the building and was approaching them with his weapon in hand. At this time, police officers Eric Campbell, Brandon Balazzi, Brett Michael Murphy, and Dylan Kennedy arrived on scene and engaged the shooter, protecting Officer Hutchins as she cared for Officer Quartz. Police officers Amanda Hutchins, Eric Campbell, Brandon Balazzi, Brett Michael Murphy, and Dylan Kennedy all showed extreme bravery and courage under fire, knowing their fellow officer had already been shot. For their heroic actions, they are receiving the Medal of Valor. As the chief noted earlier, police officer Lauren Quartz died as a result of the gunshot wounds he sustained that night. He was a beloved 5-year veteran of the Detroit Police Department for his ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty in service to the city of Detroit. We are presenting his family with the posthumous Purple Heart.
What an honor to hear these stories and recognize these brave souls. Another round. You know, they would say they're just doing their job, but they were going above and beyond the call of duty, and that's what first responders do. We're so proud to celebrate their work and the work of all those front lines that keep us safe. To all the sponsors, to our host, the Detroit Public Safety Foundation, congratulations of 10 years of excellence in making this event a huge, huge success. You worked tirelessly to make sure this event is special for first responders, and we salute you for your work. And thank you all for being here tonight. A couple of footnotes here. When you came in, you were given an envelope. First responders, your parking is free. If you are not a first responder, you should have a little thing like this. Your cost is $10 in the parking garage. And if you don't have it still or lost it, go to the customer service desk. They have ones waiting for you. The other thing is, could all of the award winners come on stage? They'd like to do a group shot of everybody. So if you wouldn't mind coming on stage for a moment so they could do that, I'd appreciate it. But thank you so much. It's been an honor.